Wow, same clothes, different day. That was cringe. I'm probably gonna take that out. This is part two of this little video series, little mini series. Yeah, part one, already uploaded it. Check that out if you haven't. This is gonna go through questions 5 through 9. For those who haven't seen part one, the editing style is gonna be a little bit different than like the other commentary videos that I do. But yeah, I just hope y'all learn something from this topic. Just because it's talking specifically about Black history, I don't want y'all to think that these aren't principles or lessons that y'all could apply to y'all selves. And I'll talk about that later on in the video. But yeah, hope y'all enjoy it. Enjoy the video. It was named 3 positive and negative character traits in the everyday Black man and the everyday Black woman. All right. Good qualities of Black men are they're prideful and willing to sacrifice for their kin. Good qualities of Black women, they're persistent and actively trying to hold a positive impact on the household. Okay, bad qualities of Black men and women are they are yielding to those they feel are inferior, and there is a stigma where they are seen as violent. The last quality is their lack of respect for our health. The violent thing, that's a true thing. Like, people think that we're just rowdy, boisterous, you know what I'm saying? The whole hot Cheeto girl thing, like all of that. And then the lack of respect for their health, that may be just a general thing with America, to be honest. I think we're the most obese country in the world. Just an observation that I've made as someone who, like, you know, I'm trying to stay with my people, you feel me? So, like, I'm trying to see what the Black women are talking about. A lot of the Black women that I was seeing that were around my age, granted this was in high school, so it's like, you know, whatever, but like just seemed like just overweight, man. And I'm not saying like you need to be like crazy fit or you can't have like you gotta be perfect on the BMI, but like it was getting ridiculous out here, man. And again, that probably is just an American thing, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, those are observations that he made. Positives about the Black man: charismatic, resilient, sensible. You look at the Will Smiths pre-Chris Rock slap. Resilient and sensible. Yeah, those are things that I've definitely seen. 3 negatives: reckless, impulsive, irresponsible. And you see kind of like again, it's like contradictory. It's like, how can you be sensible and reckless? And what it boils down to is what I feel like is that when you get out of a hood mentality, you get the sensible, you know, the smart, the charismatic. When you are in that like hood mentality, then that's when you get like the reckless, impulsive, like rowdy, violent stuff. And that's basically what I said in my answer. So though that there are my answers right there. Last, for the guy's side, positive qualities of the Black man: driven, holding respect to a high degree, strong sense of self. Negative qualities: unfocused at times to a fault, misaligned goals at times, taking care of one's mental health is often looked down on. And that's also a big thing, like in the Black culture. Like, it's like, yo, like mental health, like that's for like those people, you know. Mental health is just important, period. Like, you're not about to tell me that like if I'm feeling whatever type of way or I'm like down like that, I need to hold it in. And I understand it though, because it comes from civil rights. You know, no one cared that we were getting oppressed, and no one cared that we were getting drug on buses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you having a bad day or like a C on your report card, it just, those two things just don't weigh the same. So I understand where it comes from. I get it, you know. But yeah, and especially for Black men, you know, or just men in general, like people, I feel like people ain't really worried about like what you feeling like that. Some people are. I'm not saying it's an all people thing, but a guy being like, bro, I had a bad day, versus a girl being like, oh, I had a really bad day. You're handling it with more like effort, I guess, if that's the word. Contribute heavily to the Black culture as a whole, as a positive. Strong sense of self, extremely strong-willed. For the negative, he put consumerism, choice in men, misaligned goals. So for misaligned goals, he put that for both men and women, which I feel is fair. You know, you look into the hood culture, it's like, yo, I want for dudes, it's like, you get the chain, you get you get the cars. You feel me? They're not talking about building a family. They're not talking about investing. They're not talking about getting it out of the hood, really. You look at the girls, it's like, oh, well, the girls, you know, I need to get that Nicki Minaj bod. I need to get that Kim Kardashian. You feel me? So I can get the hood dude who's popping on Cole Bennett, popping on World Star, you know. Feel like they're strong as in like a he's my rock type of way. Most of them want to provide for their family, and they are often very intelligent. 3 negatives is sometimes they bottle up their emotions, focus on providing financially, which makes them absent, and they can also have some self-hate that gets taken out on them. Now, for the women, positives, you put resilient, nurturing, supportive. For the negatives, hard-headedness, hyperfixating on things that are not the full issue, are not the issue at large, is what she said. And the tendency to be hyper-independent. Hard-headedness, you know, it's a thing that's black community in general, but frequently mentioned for the black woman. Like, and don't get it twisted, I've experienced this too, you know. And with the dudes, you see a lot of this thing with emotion. You see this thing where they have misaligned goals and this emotion thing going on. Those absences that lead to insecurities, which is probably what the woman was talking about right there with the self-hate thing, lead to looking for that male figure somewhere else. In the hood, you know, pimping, you know, drugs, in the gangs. The pent-up emotion from all of that stuff leads to lashing out, you know, hood violence, you know, fighting in school, you know, all of that stuff. In what ways can we use the inherent good traits of black men and women to build up our communities? What does X trait look like in the home, school, public, etc.? I feel like it's just self-explanatory. You see the dudes are charismatic. For the black women, the nurturing and all of these different things. How does that apply into the communities, in the public, etc.? You see a lot of black women active, like in the church where I grew up. My church, they were doing everything. They was doing cooking. They was helping put together events, and yeah, that's the way that they contributed with that nurturing mindset. Now, I really like this question, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably one of my favorite questions that I asked. But the reason I asked this is because in my mind, I see, okay, we have a problem. You know, I believe that problem is with the like home structure role model. So who do we point to as the ideal to get the best outcome for like the youngins in order to get the outcome that's best for the community? Essentially is what this is, right? So she said, I think it'll be different for everyone, but for me, ideal black man would be either Luca Sabat or Semino because of the way they express themselves artistically. They have a calming, confident vibe that they give off. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, the character traits that they said. For the male celebrity, he chose Wesley Snipes. And when I asked him about this one, because I asked him about this one, and he was like, bro, you look at Blade and you look at the swag he got and like how cool he was, like that's like, he's like, bro, that's the guy. Like when Blade came out, bro, black people was going crazy, man. And that's a fact. As bad as the CGI was and all of that other stuff, Blade put the black people on for the first time in like cinema. Black male celebrity role model, Chadwick Boseman. The man was influential for the black community and persevered through personal issues to continue inspiring others. You look at that inspiring. You look at the perseverance, these traits here. Keep these in mind. Ideal black man, celebrity, Morgan Freeman. Dedicated to his craft and was able to push through racial barriers. My answer, Chadwick Boseman. Not only because he plays my favorite superhero, Black Panther, which I feel like is an excellent representation of how black men should be, you know, reserved, intelligent, but ready to get about that action, bro. If you read the comics, Black Panther don't play them games. You see this right here? That's the Black Panther ring. But he just seemed like a very good-hearted man. Whenever he accepted his awards, he always gave thanks to God, which is a big thing for me. The way he played his roles, from what I've seen, from 21 Bridges to Black Panther to 42, Jackie Robinson, just the way he showed the struggles there, the way he showed how men can show their emotions too in a healthy way, and how he can improve upon the wrong that he saw. You look at 42, obviously the racial discrimination against blacks in baseball. You look at Black Panther, his dad had done a wrong to his cousin or his uncle. The character that he plays in 21 Bridges is seeing discrepancies in the justice system, which is why he became a detective, in order to actively try to change those discrepancies in the justice system. So the main observation with this one, you see that there are different qualities that are highlighted. You see the racial barriers with the Morgan Freeman. You see the Chadwick Boseman with, being able to do so much for the black culture with Black Panther, with being able to express these problem-solving, roles. You see Blade with the swagger and being clean and, being cool with the martial arts and all these things. You see the two celebrities that the woman mentioned, talking about their demeanor and being able to express themselves, right? All of these things are their own unique ways of showing themselves. And as a man, in this society where I feel like we're being downplayed and we're being kind of trampled on just a little bit, or just even pressured in general, there's that whole thing going around, six-figure man, 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? 6 feet tall. You just need to find out who you are as a person and express that, and you're fine as a man, bro. If you're able to help your community out, show love to your family and your friends and all of these things, and your genuine self, you're fine. You don't need to be 6 feet tall. You don't need to have 6 figures. You don't need to have the coolest whip. You don't need to be a copy and paste of any of these people. The main thing that I would like for y'all to take away from this is that being your most unique self is all that is necessary, man. And that's it. Ari Lennox, HER, because of the beauty and the elegance that they display. I said Gladys Knight because of her voice. She seemed fit, healthy. Take care of her body. Kind of showed disapproval of the current pop culture, as well as sent the Jackson 5's first demo tape to Motown Records, which basically put them on. We all know about the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson. Come on now. Angela Bassett, iconic black actress, and he said that he feels like the roles that she plays show how, kind of reflects how mothers handle their children as well as their own personal struggles. I didn't realize who Angela Bassett was. I knew that the person who played the Queen in Black Panther was familiar, but you look in that one, she talks about how she's struggling with her husband, doing that whole king thing, and then he gets killed, and then her nephew comes back and tries to kill her son, and then her son dies, and now this dude Namor is coming in and trying to take out their whole kingdom because some freaking meteor fell in his backyard and the U.S. is trying to get it. The last male answer is Lupita Nyong'o. She played Nakia in Black Panther. And he said, for similar reasons to Morgan Freeman, flexible in her personality and chosen roles, embodies her culture and puts it at the forefront of her craft. So you look at this elegance, the beauty that is displayed with these black women. You look at the emphasis on the culture, the black culture that they try to put on the screen. You look at how Angela Bassett displays how to kind of cope with feelings and different things, kind of how I said with Chadwick Boseman. And honestly, I feel like a lot of those things are inherently just more women-like traits, that motherly thing, the elegance and beauty. My message to the women, same as it was to the dudes. You might see the Megan Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's, and all that other stuff, you know. I don't speak for all dudes, but as far as the dudes in my circle and most of the dudes that I know, like, we ain't worried if you got the Nicki Minaj gluteus maximus. Promise. We don't need the Kim Kardashian lips. Promise. We just want you to be yourself, express yourself, show love to your community in the way that you want to, and all that. Literally same message. I'm just a little tired, so it's hard to get it out. Surface level this may sound, or whatever, I look at a 10. Oh, I might want to approach her over you, no disrespect, but her personality is going to drive me away from her. You can be mid, have a 10 out of 10 personality, we click perfectly, you're getting wifed. And it might not be by your first love or your second love or whatever, right? But eventually, more likely than not, it'll happen. You feel me? And that's who you're going to be happy with, so don't worry about that. Same thing with the dudes. You don't want the 10 out of 10s, bro. You really don't. You think you do, but you don't. Who is one black person you admire and why? I would say that I admire my Mima. She's the epitome of Southern Belle. I'm gonna have to throw that word up there. Some of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all don't know what that means. She's very sweet, always willing to help, always has something to eat, and she will tell you what you need to hear whether you like it or not. One black person, okay, hold on, that caught me off guard. One black person I admire is Imanuel. He is actively grinding to build his dream future and navigating his life the best way he knows how. That's crazy. I'm gonna wait till after. A black person that I admire in my life is a brother from church. He's funny, along with these other brothers that I will not name for anonymous reasons, obviously, because they gave me good advice when I was younger, set them on the right path. Third answer for the guy's side, one black person I admire is my grandmother. Immigrated here and made a life for her and my mom. For me, I don't even gotta look at this. I chose my uncle, man. Cool demeanor. He's wise. Him, as well as my aunt. They took me in when I was in a dark time, man. And I'll always be grateful for that, But yeah, want to be like him when I grow up. Real talk. Thank y'all both if y'all are watching this video, by the way. My only thoughts on that one is just like the same way you have people you looked up to. As crazy as it may sound, you're that person to someone else, or you will be in the future. So you matter, man. Y'all all matter. And one day you'll have a similar impact on someone else's life, whether that be your grandkids, whether that be some dude down the street, whether that be your student or whatever it is. So, not to tell you what to do or anything, but I just hope that when that time comes, you'll be a good example for them, and pass on what it is that you want through that person to help build up the black community. As far as my friend who made that answer, I'm just going to address it now. It just feels good that people out here see what I'm doing and are rocking with it, and they're being inspired and they're learning from it, man, because that's what it's all about, And at the end of the day, I want to help people out. I want them to learn something from my life so they can live a better one, But that's all for that. The non-black person you admire, someone from their team. He's a mixed Caucasian and Mexican, and he embodies both sides of his ethnicity without a thought. His former teachers, a lot of them helped him out when his confidence was low, encouraged him in his art when he didn't necessarily believe that it was up to par, and basically encouraged him to be more diligent in his work so he could express himself and reach that standard that they knew that he could be at. Kurt Angle is one of the people who isn't black that he admires just because of how iconic he is with wrestling and what he was able to do just in that whole game. Dude is a legendary, man. Legendary wrestler. My old teacher, long story short, back in the day, middle school, man was getting bullied, and he helped steer me on the right path, man. Simple as that. She said her old boss, because she was all about business and wasn't going to let anyone tell her no or say that something was impossible. She was slightly intimidating, but also the ride or die type.
But I feel like people need to understand that, like, you getting like inspiration or you taking an idea from another culture or something like that doesn't make you less black, man. And this might be my own personal experience, but I've seen a lot of other videos. People like I think Caleb City, RDC have done videos on this too, like with anime or being like book smart. People will say, "Oh, you're the whitest black person I ever met." I'm actually about to get. This is the first time you'll ever see me upset on this channel, legit. What does that even mean, bro? Like, fathom that. If I'm the valedictorian in my class, I never played a single sport in my life. I was just, a little nerdy, hit the street, the books more. That makes me the whitest black person you've ever met. Or if I watch anime, then I'm some corny black guy. Now, let's not get it twisted. We have, the headphone Naruto running people down the hallway. Those people are corny. We're not going to pretend like they're not. But you get what I'm saying? And with that, it's like, we got to stop putting down our fellow people for expressing what they for like liking things about another culture and expressing that. If it's not weird, you get what I'm saying? If someone tells you, "Oh yeah, I like quantum physics or whatever like that," I mean, you might not like quantum physics, I get that, but like, why are you gonna put a man down for enjoying like what he likes to do? You feel me? George Washington Carver, was he corny? Was Martin Luther King corny? They weren't catching footballs like Odell Beckham. They weren't splashing threes like Curry. I mean, they didn't have the opportunity to do that because, segregation. But you get what I'm saying? Like, if we want the black community to be built up and to become what we all know that it can be, which is an amazing, beautiful thing that has love and uniqueness in it, which, I mean, it is now, but to be the utmost version of that, parts of what we get is going to be from other cultures. It's just, there's no getting around it. But yeah, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. Next year, I'm going to do like a little like Black History like project type thing. Like really like I'm going to study for a year, from the slave trade on the boats all the way, to the assassination of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these different things. I'm going to try to like put together a little video on that, upload it for you guys, just talk about what I've learned. Have my opinions changed? Have they not? Maybe interview some people, do some street interviews and whatnot like that. But yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out again to all the people who answered questions. If you have any, I don't know, questions that you want to ask, or maybe something you think I missed or got wrong or whatever, feel free to hit the DMs. God loves you. I do too. To my brothers and sisters out there, stay strong. Peace.